welcome to the deep dive. We are really glad you're here.
Absolutely. Welcome.
Because we know you love to learn. You like absorbing huge amounts of information efficiently, right?
Yeah, getting right to the good stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So today, we are basically saving you about, I'd say 130 hours of binge watching.
Which is a pretty massive undertaking.
It is. We're distilling a massive 260-episode Nigerian period drama down to its absolute most crucial elements.
And this is not just any show.
No, it's Riona, pronounced Reodobina. It's a 2020 Africa Magic original series. And the goal today is to really look at how this show masterfully blends 12th century history with intense class warfare.
And dark prophecies. Don't forget the prophecies.
Right, the prophecies are huge.
And for anyone wondering why this specific show matters to you, I mean, why we are doing a deep dive on it, it's because it's so much more than just a daytime soap opera. It is this brilliant structural exploration of dictatorship versus democracy.
Oh.
It really forces you to look at the terrifying lengths people will go to when they want to preserve their own power.
Okay, let's unpack this, because to really get the stakes here, you have to understand the world they're living in.
The setting is everything.
Right. So based on our sources, the show is set in the pre-colonial Itsekiri Kingdom.
In the 12th century.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just to put that on a map for you, we are talking about the westernmost part of the Niger Delta.
Which is bounded by the Bight of Benin.
Yeah, it's this incredibly rich, geographically complex region.
Very lush, lots of waterways. Controlling this area means you have serious wealth and strategic power.
But the Kingdom of Oyomir, which is where our story takes place, is dealing with a massive crisis.
A crisis that has nothing to do with borders or trade?
No, they are quite literally under siege by fate itself.
Yeah, the inciting incident is wild.
It really is. So we meet this character, Arinyeka, and she is the Operunmale.
Which means the mouthpiece of the gods.
Right, and she is actually the first female Operunmale in the history of the kingdom. So already, tradition is shifting.
The old rules are breaking down.
And she delivers this absolutely chilling prophecy to the throne. She says a child born under a rising dark moon is going to destroy the reigning king.
King Ofotunku.
Yes, and completely end his rule.
What's fascinating here is how the writers take this classic, almost mythological trope of, the ruler trying to outsmart destiny.
Oh, who told me?
And they ground it in this brutal political reality. Because the king's reaction isn't to step down or repent.
No, he doesn't self-reflect at all.
Not even a little. He immediately orders the mass killing of all children born under the dark moon.
Which immediately establishes just how impossibly high the stakes are.
And how brutal his regime actually is.
It tells you exactly who King Ofotonku is. And he's played by Frank Conwaya, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Our sources describe him as a genuinely wicked king.
Wicked is almost an understatement.
Yeah, he crushes anyone in his way. But it goes beyond just being a dictator. He literally dares to fight the gods when they pass judgment on him.
Which is the ultimate sign of an autocrat completely losing touch with reality.
He thinks he's bigger than fate.
Right. But trying to cheat fate comes with a tragic cost.
It does. And there is this one specific, shocking detail from the text that really drives this home.
It's devastating.
To save his own life from this prophecy, the king is in this state of total panic. He loses his temper.
As he often does.
Right, he has this explosive temper. And he unwittingly kills his fourth wife.
Anya Mofay.
Yes, she goes by Mofay, played by Mimi Chaka.
And the tragedy here is that Mofay wasn't just a political alliance.
No, she was his favorite.
She was the one he actually married for love.
And she's the mother of his heir.
Exactly. So in his blind panic to hold on to power, he destroys the only real, genuine human connection he has.
He totally isolates himself.
Which means he has to rely entirely on his inner circle, the enablers.
Yeah, let's talk about that inner circle. You have Omajaja, played by Sobifa Dokubo.
Who is a fascinating character.
He is. He's the king's intensely loyal friend. They've been close since childhood. But his real job is basically handling the king.
He's the diplomat.
Right. He knows how to navigate this tyrannical guy without getting himself killed.
You need someone like that to keep a failing regime running.
And you contrast him with Queen Idolor.
His first wife.
Yeah, she is a high council member. So you have this very complex web of advisors insulating the king.
But they can't insulate him from the prophecy.
No, they can't. Because despite this horrific mass killing, fate finds a way.
As it always does.
4 of the targeted children actually survive the call.
4 managed to slip through.
And one of them is Prince Agon.
Who goes by Agon.
Right, played by Amarchukwu Ono.
And this is the structural core of the whole series.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Agon is the king's own heir.
His own son.
Yes. He is destined to bring down his father's dictatorship because he was one of those kids born under the dark moon.
And his motivation is so unique for a period drama.
Yeah, he doesn't just want the throne for himself.
He despises his father's oppression. He actually wants to replace the monarchy with democracy.
Which is a wild concept for a prince in the 12th century.
Totally. He is willing to sacrifice his relationship with his father, his own inheritance, to tear the system down.
But a prince can't start a revolution all by himself from inside the palace.
No, the pressure has to come from the outside, too.
Exactly. Which brings us to the lowborn leader, Oriasame, or Seema.
Played by Jasmine Olaratimi and Maggie Isabor.
Right. Her background is so complex. Technically, she is highborn.
But she doesn't grow up that way.
No, she is raised by a virtuous lowborn man named Aso.
And Aso raises her specifically to lead the rebellion.
He teaches her her value. She voices her opinions without any fear.
Which is very dangerous in this society.
It is. And it gets her into major trouble when Prince Agon actually visits her community.
They clash immediately.
Because she just speaks her mind.
But you see, connecting the dots between Agon and Seema is the whole point.
Yeah.
They come from entirely different worlds. But they are both dark moon children.
Their chance crossing of paths is the ultimate threat to the king.
They are the two halves of the kingdom coming together.
Which brings us to the actual society they're living in. The class warfare in Oyomer is intense.
It's the engine of the show.
The society is divided into two main classes. At the top, you have the highborn class, the Omajaja.
They hold all the cards. The wealth, the military, the land.
And at the bottom, you have the lowborn class, the Aral.
Who are essentially living in bondage.
Yeah, they do all the work and suffer under the king's violence, and Seema is the one destined to free the Aral from this bondage.
Making her King Ofotunku's absolute worst enemy.
But it's not just politics and class warfare. The show also has this incredible mystical side.
The supernatural elements are deeply woven into the politics.
Yeah, like Atigbi-Aloy, played by Elvina Ibro. She is a shape-shifting witch living in the Oyumir forest.
She is amazing.
And she plays a critical role in making sure the Dark Moon prophecy is actually fulfilled.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the show uses all these elements, both the magical gods and shapeshifters, and the social clash between the Omajaja and Aral.
To build this world on the brink.
Exactly. It creates this rich tapestry of a society ready for revolution. The magic shows the limits of the king's earthly power.
He can't execute a shapeshifter.
Right.
Now, just stepping back for a second, we have to talk about the sheer scale of this production.
It is staggering.
260 episodes.
We'll let that sink in.
Produced by Fimo, directed and executive produced by James Amagwi.
And written by Efiani Barbachidi.
And it aired daily. 30-minute episodes every weekday from September 2020 to September 2021.
The stamina required to pull that off while keeping the narrative quality high is just incredible.
And people noticed. The real-world reception was huge.
It was listed as one of the top 5 Nigerian TV series of 2020.
And it earned James Omakwe a nomination for Best Africa Magic Original Drama Series at the 2022 Africa Magic Viewers' Choice Award.
Very well deserved.
So what does this all mean? Why does a massive 12th century period drama matter so much to you today?
Because the themes are universal.
Exactly. It shows how epic storytelling is used all over the world to process historical and societal themes.
We use these grand historical settings to safely explore modern realities.
Power, corruption, freedom.
Exactly.
So just to quickly wrap up this massive deep dive, we've looked at the epic clash sparked by King Ofotunku's paranoia.
His brutal attempt to stop fate.
We followed his rebellious heir, Agon, who wants democracy, the fearless Seema, leading from the outside.
And the inevitable explosion between the Omajaja and the Aral.
It is a brilliant piece of media.
And it leaves you with such a clear insight into the core themes. It really exposes the destructive nature of absolute power.
It rots from the inside.
Right. But it also highlights the unstoppable force of people demanding their freedom.
Once that spark is lit, you can't put it out.
You really can't. And before we go, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought based on the premise we just discussed.
Oh, I love this. Lay it out.
Think about the ultimate paradox of the king's actions. He ordered the slaughter of innocent children purely to prevent the prophecy.
Right.
But by doing that, King Ofotonku is the one who alienated his own son, Agon.
He pushed him away.
He pushed him right toward rebellion and democracy. So, here's the question for you to ponder.
Okay.
Did the Dark Moon actually curse the king? Or did his own brutal attempts to cheat fate guarantee his destruction?
Wow, that is a heavy question to walk away with.
It really makes you think about free will versus destiny.
It absolutely does. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We hope we gave you a great shortcut through an incredible story.
Keep exploring.
Definitely. Keep learning, keep asking questions, and we will catch you next time.